everybody. J.M. Manion here at the NPC Photo Gym. We're on the road to the Olympia for 2022, and I am here with...
Erin Stern.
Not doing figure.
Not doing figure.
We're in Bikini.
Yes.
If you haven't been following Erin's story the last couple of years, she made the switch over. Mm-hmm. How's it feel?
It feels fantastic. I've moved some muscle around, so I've lost about almost 9 pounds from my upper body and put it on my lower body.
Well, and you've won contests too.
Yeah.
Was Tahoe the first one that you won?
Tahoe was the first one, and Texas was the second.
Yeah, well, I was at the Tahoe,
mm-hmm.
which was interesting because it was her and Ashley, which I thought the whole interesting was that this is the first time that two Olympia champions from different divisions actually competed against each other, and they were both track and field athletes back in the day. So there was a lot of similarities there.
Yeah, that one was a nail biter too.
Yes, it was. It was close.
Yeah. It
was close. So let me go back to that contest, because when you came out for the finals, you looked a lot different,
mm-hmm.
a lot better. What did you do in between? We only had like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, so my tan was, I guess, a little bit too light. So Kim told me to put another coat of tan on, redo my makeup, redo my hair. So I basically redid everything and it's come back out.
Because when you walked on stage, I even saw the judges all go like, oh, like they thought you were going to look the same as from prejudging. Yeah, I mean, you just nailed that condition, that the whole look at that Tahoe show.
Yeah, thank you. It was, your feedback too, and just going back and having the time to be able to fix the tan, to fix everything. So
listen, folks, that was like in a space of 2 hours she was able to do that. So it can be done.
Yes, it can be done, and luckily the judges, prejudged.
Yeah, the confirmation of scoring round. Yeah. So those of you who think the confirmation of scoring round isn't for real, this proves it right here. Because truthfully, I know coming out of prejudging that Ashley wasn't first.
Mm-hmm.
And she ends up winning the contest. So there you go.
Yeah, you never know. So don't eat that cheeseburger.
Or cheesecake.
Yeah, exactly.
Until afterwards.
Yes.
So you've been enjoying the bikini division?
I absolutely love it. Posing is a little different for me still, just because there's no structure to it necessarily. With figure, it's very structured. But I love the challenge, and I love being backstage with the girls, and it's just very different from figure, but I love it.
Now, let me ask you this. Did you get any pushback from figure competitors that you switched over to bikini?
Not from the competitors that I competed with, but just on social media, people would say, oh, I liked your old physique better. And you're going to get that anytime you make a change.
Right.
And they're entitled to their opinion.
Right. But you've been successful in the change, which other people have changed and they've had a rough go at it.
I think it just comes down to listening to your feedback, listening to the judges' feedback, and training according to the ideal of the division versus training how I like to train. Because I love to train upper body. And to be honest, I haven't really trained upper body for the last almost 3 years.
There was a lot on your upper body. There's a lot of muscle before.
There was. So I had to watch direct training and then indirect training, things like goblet squats, which I can do now, but before I couldn't do any dumbbell deadlifts, nothing where I'm stabilizing the weight with my upper body because my shoulders would feel the weight and just be like.
Right. All right. So the Olympia is going back to Vegas, which is where you won your figure Olympia championships. How does that make you feel?
Incredible. Except December, I haven't ever been there in December, so I think it'll be a little chilly. But the energy of Vegas, the atmosphere, I just love it. It's just electrifying.
And this time, as we know, it's going to be on the Strip at the Zappos Theater with Planet Hollywood, instead of back at the Orleans off the Strip. Yeah. So I know a lot of people are excited about this.
Yeah, I think it's
just the energy of going back. I don't think anybody really cares about the temperature.
Yeah, that's a good point. I always think about the temperature because I'm from Florida. So.
Yeah. So you're a wimp.
Basically, yeah. and when we get dieted down and with the tanner,
Don't say we. I'm from Pittsburgh. She came here today. She goes, boy, it's chilly. I'm like, if I could have shorts on right now, I would.
Well, I had like 2 jackets on, pants. Yeah.
Yeah, we made fun of her.
I deserve it.
So anyways, I'm sorry, I interrupted you when you said we, but go ahead.
Oh, we with the colds?
Yes.
Yeah. So me, and I think girls from the South probably don't like the cold as much, but luckily we'll be inside and it's not outside.
Now you're going to pose on the walkway across the Strip with that wind blowing.
I mean, it would make a great picture. So
Yeah.
if that's what it takes to get the shot, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, and we're going to have the full Olympia Expo back.
Cool.
You know, have you ever been to that Expo Center at the Sands, at the Venetian and Palazzo? It's big. It's nice. I'd equate it to probably around the size of the Arnold.
Wow. Yeah.
So I've been to some events there.
Wow.
So it's a good size.
So basically what you're saying is get your tickets now.
Yes, absolutely. If you haven't gotten your tickets for the Olympia yet at MrOlympia.com, I would suggest getting it because especially now that they're moving wellness to the main stage for finals, which last year everything was at the Expo. So if you want to see everything, you got to get your tickets. And especially we've also got, Derek Lunsford moving into the Mr. Olympia on Saturday night.
It's going to be big.
Yeah.
And the tickets will sell out. So.
And I'd recommend making your hotel reservations too.
Yep. At the venue or somewhere close.
Yeah. So, all right. So this is a loaded question I'm going to throw at you because this came up this week. It's really not about you, but people are complaining about how Ashley Kaltwasser is still winning shows. She just won the Arnold UK and she just went and she won the Nevada State, which she literally got in her car and drove down the street. Okay. What is your feelings about her continuing to compete? And because like you were in figure, she has a lifetime qualification in the Bikini Olympia. I mean, to me, my opinion is if you can't beat Ashley in one of these shows, how are you going to beat her at the Olympia or win the Olympia?
Thank you.
You being a competitive athlete your entire life, what's your feelings on this?
I want to compete with people who bring their best to the stage, and Ashley is the winningest pro bikini athlete.
She's the winningest IFBB pro athlete at this point.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, she is a true professional. She can be beaten, but she usually comes in on.
Right, because she did it.
I did once.
Yes.
I've been up against each other several times, but she to me embodies what bikini should be. And if she wants to compete at all these shows, have at it. I mean,
you are professionals.
Exactly. So, get better. If you want to go up against someone who's a multiple Bikini Olympia champ, don't throw shade at her. Just get better and bring your best. Right.
I mean, because, back in the day, bodybuilders, including Mr. Olympia, used to go on a European tour afterwards. And the Mr. Olympia would go, and usually if the Mr. Olympia was there, he won the whole thing, the whole tour. I mean, the other guys weren't complaining. Okay. I mean, I just don't understand that she's taking away a girl's spot. Well, no, you have to earn that spot, in my opinion. Right.
The Olympia is for the best of the best. And if you, like you said, if you can't beat someone on a smaller stage, then what do you think is going to happen when you get to Olympia?
Right. Because you're going to have to get through probably another half dozen women before you're even compared to her.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she's always in that top 5, top 6. So you're going to have to get through a lot of people to even be compared to her. I just don't understand the complaining.
Well, I think it gives people something to talk about, and you have to also look at who's complaining.
Say that again?
Well, you have to look at who's complaining, right? And I think a true champion, they show up, they bring their best, but know that it's up to the judges at the end of the day. So to have beef with someone individually, to me, doesn't make sense because it's not like we're in a wrestling ring. We're on stage and Ashley brings her best. I bring my best. Another girl brings her best. And we see what the judges say. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I saw earlier in the year that Isa Bikini did a contest here and she's lifetime qualified. She won it. Nobody complained that she did it though. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I think it could just be the frequency of the shows that Ashley does. And she does travel quite a bit to do them. But
listen, if you have the opportunity to do it, why wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Ashley's been a competitive athlete her entire life because she grew up in this area. So we knew her back in coming through the NPC. Okay. So she was even competing in a lot of contests back then. Nothing has really changed. It's just on a higher level.
Yep. And she continues to refine, she continues to get better year after year and she's always in shape. And like I said,
listen, the fact that you can take an international trip and then come back, and it does things to the body, water, everything, different things, and still be able to walk on that stage and look the way she did.
2 shows in one weekend.
Right.
The girl's a beast.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to get somebody else's opinion, whether it was positive or negative, because I am sick and tired of seeing this and people tagging me in the posts. Listen, I'm on Ashley's side. Okay. If Erin was the person doing it, I'd be on her side too. Because listen, this is a professional sport. You're professionals. You're there to win money too.
Yep, absolutely.
Get your Olympic qualification. You know, in your case, yes, Ashley does have lifetime qualification, but she earned it. She's still the only 3-time Bikini Olympia champion. No one else has been able to do that yet.
And there are plenty of opportunities to get the Olympia qualification.
What are there, 70 women qualified so far this year? And then we'll have the top 3 from the point system.
Yeah.
And there's still another month to go for contests.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the Bikini Olympia stage is going to be loaded. I mean, there's going to be a lot of competition. I think that's the biggest division.
Yeah.
I think when I was talking to Dan Solomon, he goes, he's anticipating easily, and this is before it was what it was. This was like a few weeks ago. He goes, I'm projecting 75 women on stage for the Bikini Olympia.
Is that the biggest?
Yeah. You know, but everybody earned their spot.
Yeah. Yeah. They won shows, and even the girls on points.
Right.
They're consistently in the top.
Yeah. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago at the Janet's Battle of the Bodies, India jumped in. She was the points leader. And I know that she had dropped down in the points because of some other competitors. So she needed to basically win, which is what she went and did. You know, now she's back.
Yeah, which is incredible.
Yes.
She looks amazing. I mean, she looked amazing before, but now she's reinvented herself.
So, and then as we said, Janet's coming back. So it's going to be, I mean, you're going to have, so Issa, Janet, Ashley, for Olympia, you're going to have 3 Olympia champions. Okay. So ladies, just think about that. More than likely, those 3 are going to be battling in the top. I mean, you know, for the title. I mean, so the fact that you're concerned about Ashley doing a Nevada show or a Tahoe or whatever, like I said, Erin, you know, that was a big win for you, right?
It was, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, everyone was talking, and that just goes to prove, and Ashley's even said to everybody, she's never had an undefeated season. You know, and like I said, you're one of the people that prove that she can be beaten.
Yeah, she can be, but again, she is a professional, and with Bikini, any other division, you do need to bring your best, and that comes down to posing and hair and makeup, suit and conditioning and everything. Yeah.
So speaking of track and field, do you still dabble in that at all, or do you use that for part of your training?
I do, yeah. So I still do some Olympic lifts, some kettlebell work. I still bound and I still sprint. Can't get away from it.
I don't think you ever will.
No, I just love it, you know, and the HIIT is great because I don't have to do as much cardio.
Right. Well, doing all that, yeah. That is your cardio.
10 minutes versus, 45 minutes to an hour. So I'd rather go for 10 minutes.
All right. So how's it working with Kimono?
I love it. So as you know, with figure, I was pretty much self-coached. I relied a lot on you with feedback from progress pictures. But I didn't have a team or anything really.
Oh, how about that? She won 3-figure Olympias without a team.
It can be done, yes.
Yes. Listen, I tell everybody that Ashley won her first Olympia without a team when she was still living in Ohio. People think that you have to be with these teams. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking it whatsoever. But there's this conspiracy theory that you have to be with, XYZ team to do well. No, you don't.
You don't, but you have to be objective with yourself and at least have someone like you to give feedback and to reach out to the judges when necessary and get their feedback in the off season, not a week before the show, obviously. But and seeing it both ways, being an individual, doing it myself, and being on a team, I see merits to both. And I do think it depends on the athlete and how experienced they are, how capable they are. And it's nice with the team being backstage, having girls that have your back. Right.
Literally, like if your suit's not tied right.
they will glue
or there's a tag sticking out somewhere that you didn't see, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's the worst. Why? I don't understand why suit makers still put tags in the suits. That's just one of life's mysteries that'll probably never be solved. We know what the front and back is. I mean, they're shaped different.
Exactly. But for the case of those that maybe don't,
right?
That 1% out there,
right? No, I do it when I'm sitting there photographing the stage and I see a tag here or a tag hanging out here or here. I'm just like, why? Just rip that thing off.
Rip it off, yeah. And attention to detail.
Yeah. But you don't expect that to happen. It just does. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, but stuff happens on stage. I know
right.
One of the larger shows in figure, I remember doing the hair flip and my earring just fell off.
Flew off, right?
It flew off. It hit the stage and it slid across the wood. And I was thinking, like, do I grab that? The answer is no.
Yeah.
If you lose hair extensions, you lose earrings, whatever you lose, it's gone. Do not get it. And I don't think anyone noticed.
Right.
Except for me.
Yeah. That is funny. That is very funny. So speaking of comebacks, what do you think about Janet jumping back in?
I love it. In 2020, and I know we had talked about this, her 2020 physique for Olympia, when she walked out on stage, I've never seen her like that. I know you mentioned that too. And I've just always looked up to her, and it's an honor to be on stage with her.
You're about the same height, so how can you look up to her?
Well, I'm in sneakers and she's in heels.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. No, I just think she's amazing, and her tenacity and attitude, and she's just a champion on stage and off stage. Yes.
All right, we were also talking because Janet was the 2013 NPC Nationals overall bikini champion, and you were the 2008 NPC Nationals figure overall champion. What did winning Nationals do for you?
So that was my third show ever. And I honestly didn't know what to expect when I walked into, the hotel and started getting ready for stage. And I didn't really even know what call outs were, right? So after prejudging, people were telling me congratulations, and it just didn't sink in until the night show. And then I realized just how big bodybuilding is and how important the show was. And I think honestly, it was good to realize that after, because had I known how big that show was and what an honor it was, and I was honored to be on stage, but I didn't put it all together until after. And I realized the magnitude of winning that show and what it did for, the possibilities for my career going forward, and meeting everybody too. And that was the first time we met, and Isaac Hines and Dan Ray and
guess what? Erin did show up for the championship.
Of course.
The day after, which a lot of you don't.
You have to show up, right? I mean, that is, I think, mandatory, and it's an honor to be at that shoot. So of course you show up. I don't know why you wouldn't.
I don't either.
Unless you ate 400 cheeseburgers or.
Even then, depending on what division, you might have filled you out, made you look better.
Possibly. And then you're so great at angles, you could probably angle them in such a way where you don't see.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's another one of life's mysteries. I was literally at one point, I was so frustrated in one year where in the entire year, only one contest, everybody showed up for the championship from all the national contests that I do it for. I was going to stop. I was going to give it up. But I had a bunch of high profile pros like people like you and different things tell me, don't let these bad apples ruin it for everybody. Mm-hmm. But it is frustrating.
It is
because I'm literally giving you an extra day of my time for free. Mm-hmm. Going home late on a Sunday night.
After a long weekend.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I do this for the athletes.
Mm-hmm. And the images are excellent. And, it is such an honor to shoot with you and to win that show.
And back in the day, it used to go on the cover of the NPC News magazine. Now it goes on the NPC News Online. So,
mm-hmm. But still, it's incredible. And I think sometimes as an amateur in the sport, perhaps people don't do enough research, and they don't know who the top pros are. They don't know where the big shows are and who the influential people are. And, to me, that's important. Like, you're getting into a sport, you should know the history.
Right.
You should know what's going on and pay respect.
Yes. So I'm sure you're still following the figure division, right?
I am.
So what do you think of our 5-time champion, Sid Gillen?
Unbeatable. I mean, incredible. She is what figure was meant to be. I mean, everything about her proportions, her stage presence, off stage. She's just incredibly kind, well-spoken, another champion on stage and off. I just love her.
So Sid has an NPC contest. Janet has an NPC contest. When are we ever going to see an NPC Erin Stern class?
Let's do it.
So I think you need to talk to somebody about that.
Okay. Yeah, I would absolutely love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only fitting.
Yeah.
You're former national champion, and
that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, there you go.
Count me in.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody else while we're standing here?
Shout out to you. Yeah. Thank you for having me here. Shout out to Kim Odo and Odo's Angels, and I'm trying to think, my parents probably, and my sister.
Your dad, who's the OG doer.
He's the OG doer, yes. And he's so excited. I'm still competing. When I first started, they didn't quite understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You explained, okay, I'm getting on stage in clear heels and a bikini that fits in a Ziploc bag. and my dad said, "You have a college degree. Why are you doing this?" And then the first year, I went to Olympia. Let's see. Actually, no, it was 2010 was the first year I won. He made it out there for that show, and he got to see how
then
the magnitude.
Understood it.
Yeah. And then he was proud, but it took 2 years.
Yeah. I understand that to a point. I've had other parents of bikini competitors who's they say their especially in some of them, their mothers just really don't understand.
Yeah. But I think once you go to a show and you see it and you see the camaraderie and you see how empowering it is for the competitors to get up on stage, and it's really life-changing. That you build strength in the gym, you build strength outside of the gym and self-confidence, and it really just gives you power to achieve more things, on and off stage.
Right. Well, good. All right. So Jay and Manion.
Erin Stern.
We look forward to seeing you in Las Vegas in December at the Olympia. Get your tickets and hotel reservations now. Go to MrOlympia.com to do that. We're signing off for NPCNewsOnline.com.